Firefighter training. We've learned Pennsylvania does not require any training for volunteer firefighters. Paul found that that is not the case in some other states.
That's right, Sally. Right over the state line in West Virginia, they require 120 hours of training before a firefighter can even set foot on a fire truck. Firefighters there say it makes them better prepared to protect the public and themselves.
Safety, you ready?
Firefighters prepare for an attack.
Team 1, entering structure, power 2.
The crew goes inside a burning trailer, quickly putting out the fire. This fire was set by trainers at the West Virginia University Fire Academy. All part of the mandatory training required of all firefighters, paid and volunteer, in the Mountain State. Inside the trailer, they can crank up the heat to about 1,100 degrees, which is as hot as it gets in an actual structure fire.
The public can feel safe that they have an adequately trained firefighting force in their community. It also helps keep firefighters safe.
You got that training, it makes me feel a lot better when I'm in a situation with you.
Is that an assurance that firefighters here in Pennsylvania ought to have as well?
I think in a perfect world, sure, that would be great to have. But again, you know, with the way things have been and just trying to get minimum manpower requirements, it's tough.
In Pennsylvania, there is no guarantee that the firefighters showing up at your house are properly trained. I could hop on your fire truck right here and go fight a fire, right?
In essence, you could.
Most fire departments do require some training for their crews, but the amount is up to the chief at each of the 2,300 fire departments across Pennsylvania. The state has a voluntary program certifying departments whose firefighters are trained at a similar level as West Virginia's. But fewer than 2% of departments have all their firefighters fully trained. Only 15% of the state's fire departments even participate in the program. One of the departments not participating is Cannonsburg. The assistant chief is Tim Solabai, who's also the state fire commissioner in charge of running the training program.
You're the commissioner. I know.
You're the commissioner now. You run this program, but your own department isn't in it. Why not?
I don't know. I've only been here for 3 months. Give me a chance to work on them.
Every firefighter who does get trained learns that it's critical to wear self-contained breathing apparatus, or SCBA, before attacking a structure fire. Should a crew ever respond to a structure fire without their SCBA equipment?
They should not.
But Action News Investigates has learned some of the first crews responding to this fire in Chalfont earlier this year may not have had their air tanks. Listen to audio of a Chalfont fire official telling Wilkins Township Station 303 to supply a mask crew, or firefighters wearing SCBAs.
303 truck, when you get in here, I'm going to need a line pulled, mask crew inside.
But when that engine arrives at the scene, we hear this.
I don't have a mask crew on truck 303. I'm going to need you to give me a mask crew.
Fire quickly spread and destroyed the house. There were no injuries. The assistant chief at Wilkins 303 was not at the fire, but he says his firefighters told him they did have air tanks. Many volunteers in Pennsylvania, including the head of this Monaca department, want mandatory training.
You can't train enough for a job that can kill you.
His counterparts in West Virginia say Pennsylvania firefighters will die on the job if the state does not make sure all firefighters are trained.
I think that state is putting their firefighters at a high risk and probably eventually going to cause a line of duty death.
In Western Pennsylvania, there are no all-volunteer departments with 100% certified firefighters. Those that do have 100% certification include Pittsburgh, Mount Lebanon, Swissvale, Butler, and Beaver Falls. But those are departments with paid firefighters.
We have a link to all the departments participating in the state program and the percentage of certified firefighters at WTAE.com.
Next on Chronicle, volunteer fire departments desperate for help.
The number of people that want to volunteer for their fire company has practically diminished.
What some departments are doing to boost manpower and cut response times.